Welcome to Tackle for Loss. Today is Friday, December 12th, and we've got a bunch of chaos in college football. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. I know everybody has already heard about this, but I just want to, put my touch out there and see how I feel about this whole situation. It's honestly completely sad and just fucked up thing that has gone on here, but we're gonna go over it and I'm gonna talk about it and we'll just go from there. As everybody knows, former head coach for the Michigan Wolverines, Sherrone Moore, was fired on Wednesday with cause, and then we later find out why. But and then today he was arraigned and charged with home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering. And I can put up the video of them going over everything in court. It's honestly sad to watch, but truthfully, I don't think he'll ever be able to recover from this. I don't think he'll be coaching in college football ever again. It's just an unfortunate situation for his wife and kids, being only 12 days away from Christmas Eve and Christmas. I can't imagine what they're going through, but, this situation is just sad. But we're going to break down this scandal here with a little recap. I did go over his charges, but yeah. It says the Moore scandal recap. This past summer, the school investigates rumor Moore, who has a wife and 3 kids, is sleeping with an executive assistant. And then the school investigates him 2 more times for alleged conduct with women. So already there, we not sure why Michigan didn't, relieve him of his coaching duties. I think after, maybe first or the second time, you can go ahead and just be like, nope, here's the reason, you're done. But instead, they proceeded to just let him be the coach and, carry on. It says he allegedly slides into DMs of OnlyFans models on Instagram. I mean, okay, that's still, again, just adds to what the problem is here, I guess. He fires the assistant on Monday. She comes forward to the university with proof of their relationship, leading to his firing on Wednesday. I did see a TikTok about in court where the victim's lawyer was going through about how, I think it was probably on Monday, she said that they broke up, and then he proceeded to call and text her a bunch, and then she didn't want that, and then I guess things, I don't know what else had transpired, but then he proceeds to break into her apartment, threatens to harm her and himself with a butter knife before running away. He flees on foot and is arrested at a local church. So he's arrested, and then today he was charged with everything that I said, the stalking, breaking and entering, and the home invasion. And then I had been looking on Twitter here, whereas one of this is from, we can go over that one here in a second. This one is from a Michigan reporter who said, going back in October, it wasn't much of a surprise. He had an incident with an ex-girlfriend where Moore had gone back and liked a bunch of her pictures on Instagram for like 5 or 6 years ago. She had reached out to him, said that's weird and creepy, which it absolutely is. And then he said that had happened in last year's summer, and then he heard rumblings of other women who were contacted by Moore, and he was using his head coaching position to look outside of his marriage. Again, I don't know. It's a sad situation for his wife and kids. Uh, I don't even know really how to feel or what to say. I think it's totally fucked up that he would use his position as a head coach to help him, be able to talk to these other women. Um, Not to make an excuse, but I don't know if it was just pressure from being the Michigan head coach or what. I'm sure we're gonna find out more information, but still, there's absolutely zero excuse for him acting like that and doing that. I think if he's gonna act like that, then he should have definitely, gone through and gotten a divorce, and then he could have been with whoever he wanted, and it doesn't affect his family like it does now. But yeah, so it's an unfortunate situation for his family. I don't know a lot of people that feel. I'm sure they don't feel bad for him at all. He went off the rails because they broke up and he got fired. Um, yeah. This one here, again, from College Football Kings. You find out after signing day, which I think was timed purposefully, that Moore is fired with cause. This is what myself and several other people had heard a month ago. Let me put it this way: agents have expected the Michigan job to come open for several weeks now. Michigan knew about Moore's situation for a while and initially waited until after signing day. Now, that is also then again really messed up with Michigan. They knew, they investigated him 3 times, they were aware of what was going on. There's absolutely zero reason why they should have let this carry on for as long as it did. Yeah, I don't think. I think there needs to be repercussions with Michigan and the board or whoever, athletic director, whoever makes decisions here, because to let this carry on and wait until after signing day so you can make sure you have your guys signed is fucked up. I mean, let's be honest. To let that proceed and carry on, that's not what a program like Michigan should do, or any programs. It doesn't matter if it's NAIA or a school like Michigan. I don't think allowing something like this to carry on is what should have happened. Now I guess we all know what happened here. I think it's a real fucked up situation. Again, I don't see him being able to ever get back into coaching. Definitely not at the college level or at the level he was at. Harbaugh essentially gave him the keys to the program when he left for the NFL, and in like a year and a half or 2 years, he completely, messed up his career. He fucked up his career and his life, and now Michigan has to completely pivot and find a new coach. There's a lot of great candidates out there. I don't know, if they look internally for the new head coach or look outside. Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning would be two guys I would try to go for. I think Lanning is very committed to Oregon, and Freeman is committed to Notre Dame, but still, you have to try to go after the biggest fish, and I think Michigan is it's a great school, it's a great program to coach at. I just I don't know where they go here. Maybe they hire an interim head coach for a year and wait for another candidate to come available next season. It seems like now you really have to have a head coach locked down because players will just leave in the portal. So it'll be interesting to see who leaves Michigan in this up and coming portal in January. I don't know who else I can pull up some names here. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so I found some here on 24/7 Sports. It says 3 names that we think. Oops, an ad popped up. Of course. 3 names I think ties will be kicked with. They have Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer's the hottest name on this list. Sources says Alabama's head coach was interested in Michigan when he led Washington, but his hiring by Alabama on January 12th happened before Harbaugh left for the Chargers on January 24th. DeBoer might have gone to Ann Arbor instead of Tuscaloosa. So you can think of Kalen DeBoer maybe as one. I guess that's one of them. Doesn't really say much of else. Just Kalen DeBoer being the top one, but truthfully I don't know if he's in the playoff with Alabama. I think if they win against Oklahoma, which I think they could, I don't really see him wanting to leave Alabama. But DeBoer, Dan Lanning, Jed Fisk at Washington, could be one. Kenny Dillingham, that would be another good choice, I think, with Arizona State being in the college football playoff last year and the success he's had at Arizona State. I think he can, help Michigan continue the success that they've had. That would be somebody to watch out for. So Kalen DeBoer, Kenny Dillingham, and Jeff Fisk at Washington are three names that they had put out here for some potential candidates to replace Moore at Michigan. Honestly, I don't know who else besides maybe those 3. Again, you can try to go maybe Brian Kelly, but I don't think I would want to bring his toxicity into the locker room. He didn't have much success at LSU, and they were just fresh off of a national championship. So it's kind of hard to say Brian Kelly, but, that's another name. Dan Lanning, if he wants to leave Oregon for Michigan. I saw Lincoln Riley is another name. Again, if he wants to leave USC for Michigan, I think those are some decent names. It's an interesting it's been an interesting few days with this whole thing coming out. There's going to be more coming out. It should definitely be interesting to watch. I'm excited for the Netflix documentary. I'm sure there's going to be one here in the next few months or whatever, or maybe the next year. It's just a crazy fucking deal, honestly. It's honestly mind blowing. The year of college football has just gotten much crazier after all those big names of coaches were fired and all the money that they spent and buyouts and everything like that. And then this Michigan just drops a bombshell and, you know, completely blows up college football. I'm sure Ohio State fans are just having the absolute times of their life right now watching Michigan just destroy themselves with the scandals from the cheating, sign stealing scandals now to this. Harbaugh left for the NFL. It's a crazy thing. So, yep, that's all I wanted to go over today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.